Hi there, it's Ken Shitterberry, and today I'm at the campus of the Digital Career Institute in the lovely city of Dusseldorf, Germany. Now we have 8 campuses around Germany, but today I am hanging out in Dusseldorf. Now we just had the DCI Inspiration Jam this weekend, which was really amazing. We had 8 teams that were made up of 2 web dev students and 2 marketing students, plus 2 mentors that came together to create projects over the course of a long weekend. From Friday 9 a.m. until Sunday night, it was fabulous. I have to say that we had such an amazing weekend. We had some great sponsors, including Adobe, which is giving the first place team a 12-month subscription to the Adobe Creative Cloud. Now that includes Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Lightroom, Fresco, XD, Animate, Character Animator. Oh my goodness, the list just goes on and on. The Creative Cloud is really going to help these students and really empower their creativity. How cool is that? But the fun does not stop there, guys. We also had XP-Pen as one of our sponsors. Now, XP-Pen donated 7 of these Deco LW pen tablets, which is really cool. These are really nice and really will put technology into the hands of our students that they can use in class and also throughout their professional career. Now, this comes in pink, green, blue, and black. We got 2 pink, 2 green, and 3 blue. That's super cool. Also, we had a fabulous judge take part in our event, and that is Martin Boeing-Messing from BBDO Germany, which is based here in Dusseldorf. Hey, love it! And he judged the whole contest, which was super nice. Martin's even gonna do a sit down with the first place team that actually won. So that's really great. Thank you, Martin, for that. That's super cool. Also, I'm gonna do a session with the students as well from the first place team to teach them how to use their XP-Pen tablets with Adobe applications. Awesome! Now, it was super fun that we were on the Work Adventure platform yet again, which is powered by the coding machine. It allows students to interact in this kind of wild metaverse style place that is kind of set up to look like a 1980s video game. Really cool, allow the students to kind of showcase their creativity, work in teams, and talk to their mentors all at the same time. Let's check out their work.
Here we're going to look at Team E, which was our first place team in the Inspiration Jam. But let me tell you a little bit about the task. Now, each team was assigned to create a website for an agency that dealt in marketing and web development. This included that they had to create things such as branding, as like logos, colors, also a philosophy or mission statement, and a little bit about the work culture. They had to create pages such as about, industries, insights, solution, blogs, and awards, and etc. They also needed to list the services that were offered. They could include 2 case studies or testimonials. They did need to create a career page where applicants could actually submit resumes. They also had to produce 1 Facebook ad and 1 Instagram story ad to promote their agency, and it needed to have a call to action. Additionally, they had to have a contact form that allowed potential clients to set up an appointment and get an official quote. Because the Digital Career Institute has 123 plus nationalities among the students and staff, I wanted to celebrate cultural diversity. Now, I did this by having a twist, and the twist was that each agency would be located in a specific city. As you can see here, Team E, our first place team, had their agency based in Singapore, which is really cool. Now, they decided to go with a cyberpunk kind of modern theme for this, and I think they really excelled in giving it that kind of look. If you're familiar with the cyberpunk video game, then you can see where their inspiration came from, everything from having dialogue to get through. Now, their agency is an agency for game developers who want to promote their video games, and I think they did a really amazing job bringing it to life. Now, Team E, like many of the other teams, is continuing to work on this project because they really wanted to make it a portfolio piece that they can showcase when they have interviews or meetings with other people. I think that's a great idea. Now I want to give you a look behind the scenes because this is important. Now Team E, also known as Hypure, utilized the platform Mural. Now what they did here, this was their planning stages. You can see that they chose their colors. They also were working on like mood boards on how the environments would look, basically inside the agency itself. And also the communication where people would use to communicate. Now I think this was really great because they also include the designs of the logo here as well too, so you can see the evolution of that. it's a lot of work, and to do this over the course of a weekend was really amazing. And I think this turned out to be a perfect agency for our game development studio. Okay, we are going to view Team G, which was our second place team, and their agency was based in New York City, my hometown. I love it. Now, one thing that's very important when I produce hackathons and inspiration jams for DCI is that we really truly create a real world working experience. Now, teams did not choose their members. We strategically placed them so that it was a level playing field for all 8 teams. There would be a person that has been a DCI for a while in web dev, for example, and a person that was brand new. Same with marketing. Now, also what's important is, if you think about the real world, is you don't choose your colleagues. Sorry, it doesn't happen that way. You have to accept the people that you work with, and you have to learn how to communicate with them, and also figure out what makes them tick and how they respond. So prior to joining the Inspiration Jam, each team was given a couple weeks on Slack so they could get to know each other, have meetings, and interact with each other before the event. I think that allowed them to be a little bit more successful and have more time to get to know each other and really get a feel of how they could work together as a team. Another integral part of this experience was the idea of departments. Think about this. Marketing's never going to work alone. Web dev's never going to work alone. They have to learn how to work together. And when you're working for a company or an agency or a studio, you have to work with other departments. Now, this means you have to really communicate well, get everybody on the same page, and, come to one common ground. That way you can create a vision and bring it to life. And I think all the teams were able to achieve this. Having empathy for your colleagues is also very important in this kind of event. You have to learn how to be able to step out of your shoes and see things from the other person's perspective. Be a little bit more genuine, be more human, be a little bit more responsive, and be a little more friendly. Moving on to Team D, which took the 3rd place prize, and their agency was based in Barcelona. Now, I love their branding and I love their agency name, OhMyWeb. Now, there's a hidden meaning to that. OM stands for online marketing. The Y, or the E, I should say, is the Spanish and then you have web. This is really clever. This is a really great branding strategy right here. And I think it really hit home and really won me over. I thought this was really brilliant. One thing that our judge, Martin Boeing-Messing, liked about what this team did is they implemented video testimonials. Now, I think this is really great because it's one thing reading a testimonial, but actually seeing a person and hearing a person's testimonial, that kind of brings it to life and also makes it more, real, more trustworthy, and gives it kind of more genuine, kind of human kind of feel to it. I really like that method, and I think they did a good job deploying that. Now, each team was given 2 mentors, one web dev and one online marketing. Now, mentors were not there to do the work of students. They were there to help them, give advice, guide them, and if they got stuck in a situation, help them out of it. Now, I think mentors also really did a good job with motivating students. They took part in the pre-meetings on Slack before the Inspiration Jam took place. And I think having that inspiration from the mentors really helped inspire the teams to do great things. Team C, Hyogen, based in Tokyo, actually received honorable mention. Now, this wasn't something planned, this wasn't a prize, but we felt that they really created something special here, and we wanted to showcase what they did. Again, as you can see, they really put a lot of work into this and really thought about how they could kind of bring a website together and make it really visual and give it a special experience to the viewer. I want to talk a little bit about the structure of the Inspiration Jam and how it worked out, or played out, I guess is another way to put it. Now, on Friday morning at 9 a.m., all the teams were invited to come to Work Adventure. And on Work Adventure, we had an opening ceremony. During that opening ceremony, I talked a little bit about what was going to happen, tools they could use, and various resources that they could implement. Also, we gave the task, of course, very important, and then I surprised them with the twist. And many students were actually looking forward to the twist who've taken part in the hackathons before, but some were a little nervous as well because they know I'm going to throw them a curveball. And then on Friday, students could work as late as they wanted, and some worked till the wee hours of the morning. On Saturday, they could come in and work basically whenever they wanted to get their start, and then also work again until the cows came home, so to speak. Basically until they were tired. On Sunday, same procedure as Saturday. They could work as long as they wanted and then kind of continue on. Now, I think this was really impressive because on Monday they had regular classes. Oh no, regular classes. But at 4:15 we had everybody from the school, all the students and all the faculty come. And that's when we had the presentations and award ceremony plus the judging and a little bit of networking afterwards so they could get to know each other. It was a massive community event and was spectacular. I can't even put words to it. It was a wonderful time. You could select a file here and upload it. I hid that because I didn't want people to see what was on my computer for this video, but it was really cool. All right, this brings us to Team A, which is taking our world tour to the cool city of London. And here we have M.A.D.S, which stands for Marketing and Data Solutions. And boy, have they taken on the Brit punk vibe of London with an artistic edge. Now, they are focusing on sustainability and working on with companies that deal with the environment. How interesting. I really love the pink edgy vibe that they've given it. It just has this rock and roll kind of feel. And they've really made this a statement piece, and you can really see why. What I love most about this particular task of this particular Inspiration Jam was it really empowered students to think what it'd be like working for their dream company or agency, if you will, in this case. And you could really see this show through in the work of each team. Now, students have to think about, hey, you know, when they finish their courses, what kind of company do they want to work for? What kind of agency do they want to work for? Do they want to work for a startup? Do they want to work for something that aligns with their core values? So I think having this task really kind of empowered them and gave them that kind of idea of like, hey, when I finish my courses, where do I want to work at? What kind of place would be the perfect fit for me? And I think that's very important when you're deciding on what career you want to take and how you want to proceed, where you want to go in life and who you want to work for. And I think if everything aligns up, you're going to have an amazing time at your job. The other part of this task that I really loved was that the students had to create a career page. Now, every student is going to reach the end of their course at some point in time, and they're going to be looking for internships and jobs. Therefore, they have to have an idea of how easy it is to apply for a job. Thinking this through could really empower them when it comes to applying for a job and maybe lessen their nerves a little bit. But I think this is a really exciting part, like how to apply for a job, how to submit your CV. This is integral. It's important. It's an important part of every company. And I think having them design this and think about it is pretty cool. Just showing how the functions work, how you can fill out the form. Here you can see it's pretty easy. Let's hang out with M.A.D.S for a little bit longer while we look at their ads. M.A.D.S, ads, I'm sorry, I'm cheesy. But I think being able to create ads for Facebook and Instagram stories with a call to action was really fun. Now, M.A.D.S had a really fun time with this and really got really creative with the visuals. I really like what they did, and I thought it was really impressive. And you can really see how sustainability and the environment played an important role, as well as the punk rock theme of it all. The other interesting thing is how to track people to your agency, and ads could be the best way. Plus, you're getting to show off not only your work and creativity, but you're creating ads to promote who you are. This brings us to Team B and takes us down to Sydney. Now, I could do an Australia joke and try to mimic an Australian accent, but I'm not going to. Now, what I loved about this team is they chose the name Marlu, and they informed us during their presentation that Marlu is the Aboriginal word for kangaroo. This shows that they did research and really looked into things that were Australian and cultural relating to Australia. And I thought that was really cool and really smart. I think this team did a really good job kind of giving it that kind of feel. I thought we'd take a look at their ads because we just looked at M.A.D.S ads, so why not look at Marlu's ads? Because they're quite different in contrast to each other. Here we see their ads have more of that kind of professional and kind of corporate kind of feel to them, but it still works. Team F takes us to the city of Amsterdam. Now, if you are a fan of soccer, or I should say European football, you will notice that their colors for their agency match the colors of the national soccer team for the Netherlands. Wow, that is some research right there. I love it. For me, the user flow of this website is spot on. It's very crisp and clean and very easy to navigate. And that's the way user experience should be. If you take 3 hours to find something on a website, then obviously that website's not programmed really well. And this team really did a good job of making sure that it was easy for people to navigate and learn more about the agency. And that is what is important for a company to do, plain and simple. I want to take a second and talk about the overall evolution of the Wevers logo, because they really did a masterful job on this. At first they thought about tulips, and then they thought about canals, and then they thought about the fabric that you might find in the Netherlands, how that is really unique. And they wanted to combine those elements, and in their final design, you see that with the simplistic design of the lines, how it looks like the tulip, how the lines could also represent canals, and how it's kind of woven together. And this also showcases how the agency is woven together and how they bring things together and how they weave their thoughts into ideas. This was a really well thought out logo, and it's just something that I wanted to point out real quick in this video. Our final team, Team H, brings us down to Johannesburg. And hey, speaking of Team H, they're actually called Hurricane Digital Solutions. One other thing that I want to talk about is the implementation of social media squares. Now, I've done this for other events, conferences, and hackathons in the past. Now, the idea of this is you create a frame and it promotes the event. The person can then put their face or their image into the center. Now, why did I do this for a student event? Well, this allows students to promote themselves as experts on platforms such as LinkedIn or other social media platforms. So in a way, I wanted to coach the students on how they could promote their expertise before they start applying for interviews. And this really worked out really well. We had a significant amount of posts on LinkedIn, and it was really amazing to see how students could share who they are and what they do and their knowledge. During the presentation and awards ceremony, teams were able to showcase their website. This included talking about everything that went into the marketing and the building and the overall design and feel of it. Also, how they were able to hide little cool features within the website. Like with this in Team H, you can hover over several things and they highlight. I think that's really neat that you can actually see this, and if you take the time to explore these websites, you'll see even more. And I think this really showcases what the students were thinking and how they're really talented in what they do and how they're ready to go on to a professional career in marketing or web dev. So congratulations to all the teams. I think you guys did an amazing job. I think it's been really a wonderful experience, and thank you guys for taking part. I can't thank you guys more than enough. I think you guys really rocked it. It's time to head back to the Dusseldorf campus of the Digital Career Institute. Man, I am feeling the inspiration. Are you?
All right, I bet you can tell that the students really poured their hearts, their souls, blood, sweat, and tears into these projects, but it all paid off. They now have pieces that they can showcase in portfolios for years to come. So congratulations to all the students. Also, I want to thank our mentors, because without your guidance, the students wouldn't have been able to get through this weekend, so special thanks to all of you. I also want to thank Robot as well too, and DCI's very own Marius and Martin. Without you guys, none of this would have been possible. So thank you guys a lot. Make sure you give DCI a follow on Instagram, which would be really great. Also, make sure you give Adobe a follow as well too. And don't forget about XP-Pen. They are on Instagram as well. And of course, the Coding Machine and Work Adventure. We have a lot more cool things happening at the Digital Career Institute this year. This is not just the beginning. This is gonna keep going all year long. So guys, make sure you guys check out DCI's website, and we'll see you in the future.